Today we're taking a close look at something pretty important happening locally. That's the recent provisional appointment to the Simi Valley Unified School District Board for Area D. We've gone through the interviews, the board thinking, and what this might signal for schools in the community. We want to give you the core stuff quickly.
Absolutely. So this deep dive, it really centers on Dr. Stephen Pietrolungo, or Dr. P, as many know him. He was provisionally appointed back on July 28th. And provisional just means, well, it's temporary until the next regular election fills the seat properly. We'll look at why him, sure, but also the other folks who put their names forward. And the big challenges the district is kind of juggling right now. It's all about how the community is trying to set up its kids for the future.
Okay, let's break this down then. Dr. P, he's not new to this. Longtime educator, former principal, brings a lot of experience. What really jumped out from his interview was this focus on sticking to policy making, right? Not getting tangled up in the day-to-day micromanagement. He praised things like the career technical education pathways, woodshop, agriculture.
Right, the hands-on stuff.
Exactly. But also, alongside the heavy hitters like AP and ID classes, the advanced academic programs, he literally said these programs go hand in hand. So a really holistic view. He also mentioned making campuses look better and getting the most bang for our buck if they decide to go for another bond measure.
That's a really key point. His vision, seeing schools as places to grow, even allowing for failure as part of learning, that's pretty significant. It suggests maybe a more resilient approach. But, we really have to remember the other candidates. It was a strong group. You had Don Brodt, who polled, 46% of the vote in that Area D election back in 2022. He was pushing hard for civic education transparency. Then Sharon Porter, a veteran teacher, she highlighted her decades of service. She even authored a statewide resolution on child trafficking. Serious commitment there.
Wow, yeah.
And Elizabeth Lareva, her focus was dual language immersion. James Greenfield brought more of an outsider's view, talking about how to better promote what the district offers, almost like marketing.
So with such a qualified pool, you have to ask, how did the board actually make the call? This is where it gets, really interesting. Trustee Kareem Gibran, he really liked Dr. P's listening skills.
Yes.
Said genuinely heard people out. Trustee Dawn Smolin seemed focused on sort of the current board dynamic, what was missing, and she felt Dr. P filled that gap.
A balancing act, maybe.
Yeah, and Trustee Mike James even talked about creativity, saying sometimes the answer comes from two odd couples, which is quite a phrase. But it wasn't unanimous. Trustee Ron Resnick was the one no vote. He felt Brought's previous election result, that strong showing, gave him more of a community mandate. So it brings up this question for you, listening. How do you weigh that deep experience versus, say, fresh perspectives or direct voter support, especially when, enrollment is down and budgets are tight?
And those challenges, they aren't just about today's balance sheets. They're about preparing kids for a future that looks, pretty different. Which leads us straight into something several candidates brought up: the impact of artificial intelligence, AI in education, AI in the workplace. They were asking, how does the district get students ready for that world? A world where jobs are changing fast.
That's a huge question.
It is. And it was clear the board was thinking about who could best steer the district through this massive technological shift. Actually, some of the source materials we looked at even suggested maybe they should talk to experts like Daniel Jordan or the folks over at CLAIR News to really get a handle on integrating AI effectively.
Interesting suggestion. So wrapping this up, what's the takeaway for you as someone maybe living in the district or just interested in education? I think this deep dive really highlights just how complex these leadership choices are at the local level. It's a real balancing act.
Totally. And connecting it to that bigger picture, this whole AI discussion, it's not just tech talk, is it? It fundamentally questions the purpose of education right now. Dr. P starts pretty much right away. The school year kicks off August 14th, so he has very little time to settle in. He has to hit the ground running. It really makes you wonder, how will Simi Valley and, frankly, communities everywhere start weaving these vital AI conversations into their actual school strategies? How do you make sure kids are truly ready for what's next? Something to think about as the first step.
You are listening to CLAIR News, Simi Valley.